Kia ora everyone, and welcome to another episode of Storby's Little Big Business, where we give you tips and tricks on how to make your little business be big. Today, I'm going to chat a little bit about something that I think is really important when it comes to your business and any business really, and that is creating a really great culture in your organization. Culture is a bit of a buzzword, right? It's something that can have a whole lot of different meanings. We're trying to give you some actual practical ideas about how you can really focus on making your workplace somewhere that people feel like they belong, people feel like they want to come to work and connect with the people that they're working with. There's basically three key things that we've pulled out. We've tried to make these things that are really quite general and can give you some ideas to start you thinking about how you might foster a really great culture amongst your team. When we're talking about culture, it really is the thought that counts. But the thought has to be followed by action. When you're thinking about what you're going to do to support your staff, when you're thinking about what sort of culture you want to foster in your business, it is important that it comes from a genuine place. It matters if you actually care about this stuff rather than just doing it because you're checking a box. Really, that's the best place to start, is thinking about what matters to you. What do you want to see fostered and encouraged within your business and within your team? That being said, if you're only thinking about it, you can have the best intentions in the world, but you have to make sure that you're backing it up with practical actions. Saying that we really care about being inclusive and then that being matched by, but we give you a good salary and a company phone, doesn't really line up. Generally speaking, you just want to make sure that whatever you're putting out there to your team, that you're following through on that and that there's some sort of tangible action that's going to be associated with that. As long as people can see that connection, you'll be on the right track. So the second point to consider is that transparency is really the best policy. The more that you can share and the more open you can be about how the business is doing, why you're doing things a certain way, the more that your staff are going to be able to buy into what you're doing and that they're connected in with the purpose of the business as well. A great example of this would be in some transparency around pay. A lot of people feel really quite taboo around talking about what their pay is and feel like there's going to be some sort of negative repercussion if people are just open and transparent about this topic. But what we've actually seen, a lot of different businesses are embracing this idea of pay transparency. Far from it being something where transparency creates this scary idea of chaos, it's actually something that quite often reduces that chaos and makes people feel more connected and in control of what's going on. To name a couple, companies like Buffer, Whole Foods, and SumAll, all US businesses, instituted a policy of pay transparency. It's actually allowed them to understand what goes into choosing their salary, what goes into setting those levels and those pay ranges. And it becomes a teaching opportunity for the whole business. So in general, the more that you can apply this idea of transparency to different parts of your business, the more that you're going to allow your employees to really feel like they're connected in with what's going on behind the scenes of the business and beyond just their specific role. And leading on to our final point is the next step of really giving your staff ownership over the work that they're doing and over the role that they play within your business. You've built this thing yourself, right? You've probably put your own money, you've put countless hours and blood and sweat and tears into growing this business. Probably been working on this for a lot longer than a lot of your staff in many cases. It makes sense that you hold that really tightly and everything is being done to a standard that you know is going to support what you're trying to achieve. You need to balance that with people feeling like they have control over what they're contributing to that business. Maybe something like letting staff have ownership over setting their own roster. Say, we need to cover these shifts with this many people, you guys work it out. Here's how I normally do it, you take care of it. Sometimes letting go a little bit and allowing and trusting your staff to make the right call can make a massive difference. So those are our key things that we've come up with. Take it with a grain of salt. Think about what makes sense for your team, for your business, and for your industry, and the challenges that you're going to have to navigate to make that work. So that's it for this episode. Remember to like and subscribe, listen to the podcast, connect with us on our blog and on our Facebook, and we'll see you next time. Ka kite.